Okay, Sam, thank you so much for getting this in. This is awesome that you're all over this. I love it. So let's take a look at what we have. Okay, I've got all my stuff up here, and I've been looking through what you've submitted and what you've written, and I think I'm ready, and I think I have everything I need. So let's get started. I'm still unsure exactly expected for corporate, and that I get that. I guess it could be worded a little bit more clearly, but basically what you're doing for corporate ID is you're doing okay. You're doing either identity package or a logo sheet. So that logo sheet right there technically should be set aside so that it would be either or. Right now, it looks like this is part of it. It's not, as it clearly says, choose either identity package or logo sheet. So I get that. I totally get it. It's not very clear. So in your identity package, you choose two of the following for an existing company. Okay. And the first thing it says is the first thing you choose is that this is one choice, your letterhead, business card, label, and envelope. That's one choice. That's a bare minimum that you should have for any corporate corp ID program. Bare minimum. And that's called a stationary system. And that's spelled with an E, stationary, not stationary like stationary, but stationary, E-R-Y. And you've got that. Okay, so then you need to add either a style guide or environmental graphics. So let me explain what that means. But first, let's take a look at the work. Okay, so you've got citywide realty. Now, I've got a couple of issues with this, and this is the point where I have to say, listen, I know that you just took this class. I know that your instructor probably said, there's no issues here, everything's good, but you have to understand, but what they're looking at and what I'm looking at are kind of two different things. They're looking for showing technical proficiency in the whatever the prescribed project is. Okay, this one is basic corp ID, so you've got a logo. Now you're showing proficiency in building a logo. That much is clear. But if we take a little bit of a closer look into the meaning behind the logo, I think that we can see some issues. Number one, the city is being consumed by the wave. And that is a negative connotation. And that is something that you really would want to be aware of in logo design. I'm thinking that when I'm reading through this, is this citywide logo is for a city that's located on a body of water. And that's great, but I think it's a mistake to have the wave consuming the city, so to speak. The next thing is the color choice. Right now, you're using very, very cool colors. And the issue there is that you're showing this city and realty company, meaning this homey, like, boy, I think of a realty company. I think of somebody who's I just bought a home. So I'm thinking of a realty company as somebody who's going to show me to this cozy home in this cozy neighborhood in this cozy city and a place I want to call home. But citywide here is depicting cool colors, which isn't necessarily saying cozy. Do you see what I'm saying? It's more impersonal than that with these cool colors. Okay, things to think about. All right. I would say your answer there lies in scale. And I don't like to play art director. I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do. I think that's not the right way to learn. I think the best way to learn is for you to think about what I'm saying and try to come up with your own solutions. As far as this goes, now I've got some things I want to talk about here, and the main thing is the watermark. Let's get rid of it. It's just a technique that is, and I'm just going to be honest with you, it's completely overused in design school stationary system design. It really is, and so is the bar at the bottom. So I'm gonna suggest we get rid of both of those, and your reaction is going to be, well, it looks so bare. Trust me on this for a minute. Just let's go with it for a minute. We'll get there. Okay, so once and the reason we do that is so that this citywide, it's right now it's your whatever information is going to be typed in there is going to be lost in that watermark. And the reason we don't want to do it on an envelope is because there are postal regulations that would prohibit. And for me, the reason you don't want to do it is because it's just way overdone. So you've got your logo left top here. You got your logo left kind of top here, but you got it centered here. My suggestion is to do this, as I just got done telling you I'm not going to play art director. I suggest you place the logo over here. Okay, then take your contact information, get rid of that blue bar down there, put your contact information down there. It's a wonderful way to set up a letterhead. Try it and see what you think. And that, again, will mimic the same setup as the business card, being logo upper left, contact information centered at the bottom. Okay, think about it. Okay, so that's that. You need a sticker here too. That was one of the I'm sorry, a sticker, a label, business envelope, a label, a business card, a letterhead. Okay, it would just be a logo, just a label with the logo. That suffices right there. So never mind what I just said. Okay, so now what do we need from here? We need either a style guide or environmental graphics. Now that takes me over to your question. I turned in my whole process manual last week. Well, a process manual and a style guide are two completely different things. Let me show you the difference. A style guide, okay, here's your corporate ID, okay? A style guide is the do's and don'ts. Style guides are the do's and don'ts. What can and what can I not do with this logo? Okay, so in other words, the style guide would be something that a designer, let's say I got hired by Citywide, and they say, I want you to do this design for me for blah, blah, blah. And I would say, okay, that's awesome. They would give me their style guide, and in their style guide, it would say, okay, you can use this logo, but you can't change this color, and you can't put it on over a red background, and you can't change the font, you can't change the color of the font. And let me show you an example. Here are some examples of style guides. And you can see, okay, this would be this is the logo. Okay, these are the acceptable presentations of the logo. Okay, these are also acceptable presentations of monochrome presentations. Here are your colors. Here are your typefaces, accepted typefaces. Again, you have your logo, your black and white logo, your color symbol, black and white symbol, your secondary colors, your primary colors, typographic choices, presentation, and showing some different sizes. That's what a style guide is. You would have other pages of said style guides, because you would have like what you can and can't do. So do you remember doing that? You probably did that in corporate ID. But I just did corporate identity style guide, and I did an image search. But if you go to all for that search, come on now. Okay, now you can see how slow my internet is now, right? Don't tell anyone. Okay, so here are some really good, and these are linked out too. Yeah, they are. These are linked out, so you actually can go to those and look at those identity guidelines, and you can see how those are done. Okay, so that's what a style guide is. Let me get rid of that and that. Yeah. Okay, so that's what a style guide is. So that would cover your letterhead, business card, blah, 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 envelope, label, and your style guide. Okay, which means you would need environmental graphics. Or wait a second, no, that would mean you were done. 2 items from the following. Then you would give, yeah, so you would give the letterhead and the style guide. Or if you don't want to give the style guide, you could give, for this company, you could give environmental graphics, which means you could do a billboard. You could do, yeah, I would consider a billboard. Signage, building signage, any kind of outdoor banner advertising, things like that. Okay, so that would be the environmental graphics. Style guide I explained. You've got your letterhead. And a logo sheet was simply, if you don't have all this stuff right here, a logo sheet is simply 6 to 8 examples of logos that you have designed. Okay, the preference is corporate ID, absolutely, that for sure there. So you're in the right direction there. So don't second guess that choice at all. Plus, you can always lay a logo sheet in there later if you have 6 examples or 5 examples of other pertinent design logo design that you've done. Okay, so where does that leave us? Let's go next page, please. Okay, here we go. So you got your this is fine. And this is fine. This is just something that we will address. I think that what we're going to need to do with this is I've still got some questions here, or some comments. And look, you got the link, okay, which means that technically, boy, I don't want you to have to go back into your HTML pages and change, because I don't know how familiar you are with coding. I don't want you to spend a whole lot of time doing that. But if you can go back in here and make the changes that you made this week, I think you changed the blue, definitely, and you changed that so it's more visible. So did you change those in your page? Wow, you did. Or is that? No, yeah, that's a live page. Yeah, you did change it. Awesome. Wow, you're good. So you are good. So good job, awesome job there. Let's see. Okay, so now that I know that, I can say this. I would suggest this. Can we just lose this image completely right here? I want to lose 2 things. I think that you should take this image and maybe crop it, okay, and then use that image here and get rid of this stop image. It's just it's danger. You don't want to show danger in a dangerous situation. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the stop, the red, that whole thing right there indicates danger. And now it's associating itself with a bike. So I'm reading a really negative, nasty kind of a bad narrative in that image. So that's what I would do. Plus, I don't think we need the image up top. There's too image heavy here. Let's get rid of that image and just give us the buyersbot.com. That's it. You don't even need the box around it. And let the silence, so to speak, let the negative space speak. Let's go to the next page. Type over here is just too big. It's just too big. I mean, if these are links to go, let me see. Okay, so those aren't links. These are just what they have. So again, suggestion here, leave this image here, get rid of those background images, and just list in you don't have to screen your box white thing type box over the image. Get rid of those images in the background and just compose your type of here. And just if these are features that we carry, say that we carry beach cruisers, kids cruisers, and give us a little typographic composition there. I suggest left alignment there instead of center. And then we proudly carry Shimano gear or Shimano shifters or whatever. And then so try to get some really nice hierarchy in here, in that area. And then let's go to our last page there, and this page, I guess you could do this page. This is showing us that you have that message page working, and that's pretty good. So that's fine. Now, eventually what we're going to do with this website is we're just going to show all 3 pages on the same spread. So we won't have to span 3 pages on that. Okay, let's go to this piece. Is very curious to me. Okay, and I'm on 13, 14 minutes. Boy, I am going to, I guess I'll just finish up. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to stop here and I'll give you a part 2, because this thing really starts to drag once it starts to hit 15 minutes. So I'll stop here. I'll give you a part 2 and we'll pick up on this here piece right here. Okay, thanks.